What's up guys, Blade Master here, going to be bringing you a replay sent to me by Mr. Sniffles, who watches the channel, and he has titled this Amazing Victory Volley in all caps, so I am hyped. This should be a very interesting match. I hope it is. If it's not, be sure to chastise him. Is that the word, chastise him? Just basically call him a dick, call him out, call Sniffles out if it's not as good as you expect. I'm just kidding. This is going to be a very interesting match, I think, because it's a very cool set of factions, at least brought by the clan players. Sniffles has brought the Roxolani, and Sniffles has brought RDI, giving them that the pretty deadly mix of maneuverability and super tankiness in the RDI. And they're fighting up against a pretty interesting set of factions, pretty powerhouse factions in Rome and Sparta. Now, the reason why I say Sparta is a powerhouse faction is because they're perfectly suited to taking on the Roxolani. Holy shit, this is going to be 28 minutes. I didn't sign up for this. Mama, I didn't sign up for this, mama. Rome is perfectly suited to take on RDI. And they have a huge upper hand there, and Sparta arguably can destroy Roxolani pretty easily if Roxolani don't utilize their tools available to them effectively enough. And at the start of the game, you can see that Rome and Sparta have deployed together, which is a very smart strategy. The single easiest way for you to lose to a 2v2 army with Nomads is by spreading, using a regular deployment and spreading all of your units this way. You want all of them close together. You want many ranks of units. You want units that can stay behind a line of Hoplites and then fire javelins, stuff like that, Saki Equites Extraordinary, two of them have been brought along with a couple of Praetorian Cav and gladiator spearmen with 5 armored legionaries and a line of Syrian archers with a couple of velites, and that's the army for Rome. And I'm not really sure why he's brought Saki Equites Extraordinary. I don't mind the Praetorian Cav. They are very expensive and not really worth it, but they have huge amounts of attack. 15 bonus versus cavalry could be great for chasing off the shock cavalry that any step army is going to obviously bring. The Spartans have brought a line of Spartan Hoplites, 3 heroes of Sparta, a couple of Perioikoi spears who I suspect will be pretty important if Rome and Sparta are going to win this. And he's also brought some Spartan youths. The reason why I say these Perioikoi spears are going to be very important is because they're basically the only units that have precursor javelins for Sparta, and that can shower these javelins from the safety of the Spartan Hoplite line, and thus can kill a lot of cavalry that way. The actual Spartan Hoplites will be good at tanking out multiple charges, but they won't really do too much in terms of killing enemy cavalry, in my opinion. The other units that can probably do a lot of damage are these 4 Gorgos skirmishers brought by Sparta. Very nice units, very cost effective, have rapid reload, and for a unit that only costs 380 talents, that's a huge deal. We can see this one skirmisher cavalry here being very easily baited by the steppe horse archers, and they're getting cut down by the steppe horse archers. And now the Sarmatian riders, which are there on the flanks, can easily pop Draco, and they're quick enough to catch the skirmisher cavalry. Let's take a look at what RDI has brought now. 6 Illyrian noble Hoplites, backed up by a line of barbarian infantry. We've got mercenary axe warriors here. We've got a couple of slave slingers who will trade very cost effectively with the Syrian archers, but I don't think they'll be able to destroy them. We've got a line of mercenary Celtic warriors behind them, and then we've got a very surprising addition in the form of 4 Illyrian Thuria spears. Now, the Illyrian Thuria spears are very cheap, but I don't think they're good units to counter Rome and Sparta. Rome and Sparta have both excellent missile block chance, both have excellent armor, and they just will not have they won't have many targets, basically. Judging by the way these velites are being used, though, I don't think they're faced up against the most experienced players. Mercy Amazonian riders taking shots, getting shot at by velites who are in flaming shot. The regular shot could have just slaughtered the mercenary Amazonian riders, but with flaming shot, you can see their missile damage is dropped all the way down to 8. Even then, they managed to kill some mercenary Amazonians. So imagine if they got 2 full volleys of standard ammunition, the mercenary Amazonians would have died. Finally, for Roxolani, we can see a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horse archers, it looks like. Yeah, 5 horse archers brought instead of 6. We can see a couple of Sarmatian royal lances on the far side, behind the safety of their steppe noble lances. This Sarmatian Royal Lancers don't have Draco. The ones that do are the Sarmatian Horsemen, and he's kept these relatively tankier units which cost around like 500 talents at the front of the shock cavalry contingents. Now, I don't know why he's kept the Sarmatian Riders all the way up front. The Sarmatian Riders could possibly be much better utilized by keeping them behind here. But I can see what they're trying to do now. They maybe try and catch some of the units with the Sarmatian Riders, pop Draco, and then let the Illyrian Thuria Spears fling their javelins. But the problem is, the Sarmatian Riders will die so quickly that they won't provide enough protection for the Thuria Spears to fire more than a couple of volleys of their javelins. And once the Thuria Spears get charged at or get caught in melee, they're just not going to do much damage at all. Gorgo Skirmish is going to start firing. Doesn't look like the Sarmatian Riders have an attack order. Perioika Spears being pulled behind them. They're probably going to fling their javelins. Ooh, you can, yeah, good job. He's gonna catch some of these Gorgo Skirmishes. They have very low health, very low morale. Oh, actually no, 50 health is pretty decent. But you know, they will start wavering pretty soon, I think. Sarmatian Riders getting killed there. But early stage engagements have gone decisively in the favor of the RDI and step combo. This Mercia Amazonian Riders have gotten a lot of kills on pretty valuable units. Skirmisher Cavalry was not used well by Sparta. The other one looks like it's going to get slaughtered by the Illyrian Thuria Spears here. Yeah, this is absolutely not how you want to use Skirmisher Cavalry. There are very few uses to Skirmisher Cavalry against the sort of factions that the Spartans are facing, and this is the one good use of Skirmisher Cavalry. He actually managed to bait a set of javelins from the Illyrian Thuria Spears. So coming back to what I think will be the main winners of the army, besides the obvious Steppe Noble Lancers, who would probably do a lot of damage if set on the right units, I think RDI can actually prove to be a pretty strong player in this matchup because of the top heavy nature, the elite heavy nature of this RDI build. We can see the 6 Illyrian Noble Hoplites outrank the 3 Royal Spartans, and the 6 Illyrian Hoplites will probably do fairly decently against the Armored Legionaries, although I wouldn't really want to put them solely against the Armored Legionaries. You can see the Legionaries have been popped in Testudo, just so that, you know, if in case any Steppe Horse Archers come in the front, they're not going to do any damage whatsoever. The Praetorian Cavalry, instead of using Cavalry Testudo, which could maybe be useful, they're using Wedge, and that doesn't really provide any sort of advantage for them. So again, very noobish, well, not noobish, that's very beginner mistakes here by the Roman player. So Praetorian Cavalry getting cut down by mass amounts of Horse Archer fire. And you know, the early stage engagements are just so important for, you know, a nomadic army, that it's doing this is such a huge boost for them. Now you can see the Sarmatian Riders so quick, they're going to be able to pull away from the Praetorian Cav and then catch some of the auxiliary Syrian archers, get a decent enough charge on them, and then the Syrian archers will lose a fair few men. Should be popping Draco right about now, but not that it's really going to make any difference. The Sarmatian Rider has basically, they've gotten 65 kills, but that move was foolhardy to say the least. Not going to get many kills, didn't really do much damage at the end of the day, and died. Again, could have been much better used if they were just kept with the shock infantry, shock cavalry contingents. Maybe even, no, actually no. If they were kept in the main line and they popped Draco against the Spartan Hoplites, if the Spartan Hoplites were braced, which I think they will be, judging by the moves made by the Spartan and Roman player, I think the Spartan player would not charge in with the Spartan Hoplites and then just use Hoplite phalanx, because historically I think that is probably logical. The Spartan Hoplites would just be braced and they'd use Hoplite phalanx and then, ooh, deadly Hoplite phalanx. But the best way to use Spartan Hoplites is to charge them in, because they have a very strong charge bonus of 26, which even outranks, you know, Armored Legionaries, and it beats the Illyrian Hoplites. Actually, oh, he hasn't brought too many Illyrian Noble Hoplites. Let's see. We can see, ooh, this is, okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 Illyrian Noble Hoplites, which is good, and then we've got a line of, you know, regular Illyrian Hoplites too. Mercenary Axe and Mercenary Celtic Warriors will play a decent enough role if only they're used in the late game, because they can do very well in rear charging Spartan Hoplites and stuff, but they won't do very well if they're engaged headlong against any of these units over here. So just causing, ruckus with their step horse archers over here, getting good kills on the auxiliary Syrian archers, moving around. The Syrian archers just not firing, not doing anything whatsoever. They should be firing into some sort of unit at the very least. Illyrian Thuria Spears getting 82 kills here. Not really sure on whom. This Praetorian Cav is just not doing anything. And but at least they're not close enough to the Illyrian Thuria Spear box that they'll actually get killed. So I guess that's somewhat worth it. The Praetorian Cav here somehow has caught one of the step horse archers. Maybe skirmish mode was not working, most likely because they were close to the red line. And now, for some reason, the step horse archers have gotten slaughtered. But still, a lot more step horse archers, mercenary Amazonian riders remain. And now they're getting closer and closer. The Praetorian Cav are getting closer to the step noble lancer shock cavalry contingent. So yeah, all in all, pretty decent engagements for early game for the woo shit, holy fucking lag. Praetorian Cav gear getting destroyed. Very decisive early engagements for RDI and the Roxolani. As for how the this box can be very easily circumvented, just don't need to attack from the front, charge in and use the Sarmatian horsemen. But actually, there are multiple lines of Spartan infantry, so this could be pretty difficult to get to the Gorgo skirmishers and Helot archers. Now Draco being popped, one of the Praetorian Cav is dead. The Spartan Hoplites don't have any of their bracing bonuses, or at least the bracing bonuses have been reduced significantly. Here, the Gladiator Spearman, who could be doing a lot of damage and still probably will be doing a lot of damage to the Sarmatian Horsemen. What? The Sarmatian Horseman knows, very smart move here. He took them off of their horses so that the bonus versus cavalry of the Gladiator Spearman won't come into play. And now you can see the Sarmatian Horsemen are doing a lot of damage to Gladiator Spearmen without taking any casualties themselves, because they don't have a horse. The bonus versus cavalry will not apply now, and that's how they destroy the Gladiator Spearmen. Very smartly done. Step Noble Lances destroying the Periarcha Spears. Periarcha Spears could be doing a lot of damage there, but that's a very decisive unit to lose. But the Step Noble Lances have taken so much concentrated fire from so many archers and Gorgo skirmishers. But still, just so many of them still remain that it's going to be very tough, I think. Here, Sarmatian Horsemen, look at how few units they've lost, and they've gotten 43-44 kills. This is not. These are cavalry units that would not get many kills at all, but it's a risk because that means you've lost. You can't remount them, so now you've lost a lot of maneuverability in this one unit. They're going to hold down some of these Spartan Hoplites for a long time. Just looking at them as foot infantry units, they're not very good because they only have 80 men versus 160, and then the weapon damage is very low for them. So is their melee attack, so they're going to get chopped down by the Spartan Hoplites very, very quickly. But that was a cheeky little move that I have to appreciate, because the Gladiator Spearmen that way didn't do any casualties to the Sarmatian Horsemen. These guys they still have access to Draco now, so they could be very weird little effective units maybe late game. And let's just put this on double speed. The Spartan and Roman defensive box is getting slowly picked apart, and this is a very classic case of what happens when a defensive alliance doesn't work out. They're slowly, because the step players is able to attack them piecemeal, and that's how some of them are going to lose a lot more units than they really should. And that means to compensate for that, they're going to have to spread out wider. They're not going to have as many ranks. They're not going to have much depth in their defensive box. And for example, over here now only 2 Spartan Hoplites remain. Just charging in with the Step Noble Lancers will crash into them, send all of them flying, and then they can easily get at the Gorgo skirmishers and Helot archers, which are basically the only units that would pose a threat. You can see the Sarmatian Horseman has done a really good job against the Spartan Hoplites. I'm not really sure how, because they're not a very good foot infantry unit. This is pretty crazy. Cray. Here the slave slingers are firing into Spartan Hoplites into their shielded side, so they're not going to take too many casualties because of 50 50 missile block chance. 80 armor isn't great actually for the Spartan Hoplites. Their incredible mass is what is going to help them out when it comes to bracing against a cavalry charge. They're super heavy, which is literally the highest mass that you can get for a foot infantry unit, and is unique only to Sparta. So they will do very good against braced against cavalry, but not spread this wide. And of course, they don't have expert charge defense, which the only units that do have that are the Royal Spartans. So it's not like, you know, the charge of the Sarmatian or the Steppe Noble Lances will get deflected back onto the Steppe Noble Lances, which is what expert charge defense does. So yeah, bracing only if they're in hoplite phalanx will I think these would these Spartan hoplites actually do a lot of damage, I think. Helot archers getting shot down by slave slingers, got a good volley onto the Steppe Noble Lancers. They've taken a fair amount of casualties there. And I don't know how exactly to approach this with if I was the RDI player. Charging into the Spartan hoplites could be good, but that means the Illyrian noble hoplites will get rear or flank charged by the armored legionaries. Charging in straight with the Illyrian noble hoplites onto this armored legionary flank would not be a cost-effective engagement for them. And then that still means that the steppe player still has to deal with the Spartan hoplites. So that's why I think these mercenary Celtic and mercenary axe warriors have to do a very good job there in hitting and overwhelming the flanks. Now these Perioikoi spears or Spartan youths are being pulled away. Mercenary axe warriors don't get a charge in on the Spartan hoplites, it looks like. And now the Spartan hoplite is being put into hoplite phalanx. Smart use there. I don't think that he's turned off formation attack, which is good. So smart use by the you know, the hoplites by the Spartan player. Mercy Axe Warrior is trying to get some kills. That's the armor penetrating nature of their axes coming into play against a relatively armored unit. But they at the end of the day, they won't do too much damage. They're a very good, cost-effective barbarian infantry. But just you know, they won't do very well in punching 2 times above their weight, basically. So now the auxiliary Syrian archers being pulled away. They should be kept somewhere here. Even spreading them, like, you know, just keeping them in a box like you know, in a very dense formation like that would be okay, because, you know, the steppe horse archers won't do too much against full strength, very well armored Spartans and Romans. Allowing them to even fire like that would be a decent enough strategy. Mercenary Axe Warrior has gotten 61 kills. Now they're going to fight against Spartan youths. Spartan youths going to take the charge, and then the Spartan hoplite is going to come in to help. And now the mercenary axe warriors will be basically dead. Precision shot used by the Roman player. I don't think the Roman player really knows what he's doing here. Now he's going to chase away these horse archers, but then the horse archers can very easily outmaneuver them, and then maybe even the steppe noble lances can come in for a charge. Coming for a charge over here would be a good enough strategy. Kill off 3 of the auxiliary Syrian archers in 1 charge, basically, would be a good enough trade-off. Sarmatian riders making use of their maneuverability by charging into the Gorgo skirmishes, while the Spartan player is focused on other things. Good play here. Good player here. Sarmatian riders is going to do a lot of damage to the Gorgo skirmishes. Still, you know, the fact that they're light means that they just don't do much damage on the impact, and they don't have great attack too. So all in all, that means even a shitty unit like Gorgo skirmishes are not going to take too much damage on the charge. They're very good for chasing away retreating skirmishes. And now they're going to pull away. Smart use there. Did a lot of damage to the Gorgo skirmishes. 61 kills, and now pulling away because they're just that quick. So yeah, this defensive wall is just about to break. It's showing all the signs of you know, 1 charge, 1 shotted, and dead, basically. All it takes is a coordinated charge from all sides by the steppe player and good enough support by the RDI player. Charging in the steppe noble lances and then charging in with the mercenary Celtic would be a beautiful move. Pop Draco now. I wouldn't be surprised if he pops Draco. If he doesn't, then that would be a terrible move. Still not pop Draco. Okay, there he goes. Pop Draco. That's going to remove bracing for all of these Spartan hoplites. And that means they are not going to like these steppe noble lances crashing into them. Let's see. Completely braced. They take around 12 casualties on the charge. Mercenary Celtic Warrior is going to come into support, and then that means the Steppe Noble Lancers can easily pull away. The right hand flank has not been charged at yet. Steppe Noble Lancers here have taken a lot of casualties because of the Gorgo skirmishes, I think. And but that means the Spartan Hoplites here just getting slaughtered. Here, let's see if they're winning. They're losing decisively. That's because of the HP damage inflicted by the Steppe Noble Lancers. All in all, you can see they didn't get too many kills, but they inflicted so much HP damage on all of the units that the Spartan Hoplites is just not going to be able to recover, I think. Even the Mercenary Celtic, but the Mercenary Celtic Warrior is taking so much damage too, because even like upgrading Celtic Warriors is a decent enough idea, but they don't have the armor and health to justify, upgrading them for too much. Here, Sarmatian Riders somehow made it into the rear, catching some of the Gorgo skirmishers, and then should pull through and then just hit the Spartan Hoplites. Yeah, they're still losing though. Yeah, you can see the Spartan Hoplites are losing. One of the armored legionaries has been drawn in to help support against this Mercenary Celtic Warriors. They are in formation attack, not good. And here Gorgo skirmishers wavering, but the Sarmatian Riders at the end of the day didn't manage to do too much, but decent enough use of them. Here Celtic Warriors racking up the kills, but combat only even now. Pulling away, smart use of the Celtic Warriors. Now that the Spartan Hoplites are in Hoplite phalanx, they can't chase away the Mercenary Celtics, so they can be easily pulled away like this. And then maybe even the Steppe Noble Lancers can come in for a second charge. But it looks like other things are going to happen very soon. Actually, no. Miss Micro from the Roxolani getting one of the Sarmatian Riders shot down for no real reason. That can be forgiven when you have stuff like this happening. Steppe Horse Archers hitting the rear of the Auxiliary Syrian Archers, but that's not a good idea, I think, because Auxiliary Syrians are just so very tanky that using a Steppe Horse Archer like this is not going to inflict any damage on them. Keeping them here would be a better idea, but they are getting shot by the Auxiliary Syrians here. So now you can see one of the Spartan Hoplites breaking. The Mercenary Celtics have done so brilliantly here purely because of the Steppe Noble Lancers coming into support first. And the Sarmatian Royal Lance is looking very menacing there. Nothing really happening though. Here the Sarmatian Royal Lancer full strength is going to do so much damage. Going to slaughter this Gorgo skirmisher over here. Spartan Hoplite is chasing after them, but they can just completely flatten this Gorgo skirmisher and then charge into the armored legionary. But they've been caught by the Spartan Hoplites. That's not good. And here the Sarmatian horsemen pop Draco, the Spartan youths getting attacked in the rear. Some of the Spartan Hoplites taking some damage from the rear by these Steppe Noble Lancers who've done so brilliantly so far. And now the Illyrian Noble Hoplites are going to charge into their front. This is just, oh my god, all sorts of devastation. This Spartan Hoplite is so fucked. And here Steppe Horse Arch has gotten caught by, like it is, for how poorly they were countered by the Spartan Hoplites and by Sparta and Rome. The Steppe Horse Archers have done kind of a lackluster job, if I'm to be quite honest. But very well done by the Steppe Noble Lancers. Just excellent coordination between the two players and just destroying the flanks, which could otherwise have been a huge pain in the ass. Because as you can see, the main line is not an engagement that the RDI is going to win. Especially because there's some Illyrian Hoplites also interspersed there. So by destroying the flanks early on, or by destroying the flanks initially, and then you can see here using Warcry against a low morale unit like this makes them waver very quickly. They're losing decisively. I'm surprised that they're still shaken and they haven't routed. But by destroying the flanks like this, using good combination or using good coordination between Steppe Noble Lancers and Sarmatian Royal Lancers and the very aggressive barbarian infantry like that is what is going to win them the game. Here you can see Steppe Noble Lancers, good job catching the Praetorian Cavalry and the Saki Equities Extraordinary, and then coming into support with Mercenary Celtic Warriors with their high weapon damage. They're going to do a lot of damage to Praetorian Cav and Saki Equities Extraordinary, as well as the Royal Spartans. Okay, so never mind. So this little engagement is not going to go in their favor. But Steppe Noble Lancers have done a good job by hitting the armored legionaries while they were engaged with the Illyrian Noble Hoplites, which would make the Illyrian Noble Hoplites win. But the Saki Equities Extraordinary just got a great charge onto the rear of the Steppe Nobles. Step Noble's very good on the charge, not very bad after that. Low armor, pretty crappy health. 95 health is not great. Combined with that low armor means that they're just not going to do very well in any sort of extended combat. Here, Step Noble Lancers going to charge into Gorgos, destroying them. Royal Spartans are going to tank the shit out of this engagement. Mercy Axe Warriors are just going to fall to Royal Spartans, especially in Hoplite phalanx. But Illyrian Noble Hoplite is going to support there. So well done. Sarmatian Royal Lancer General taking some friendly fire from Slave Slingers, I would think, and they're engaged with Spartan Hoplites. Spartan Hoplites will win out this battle, I think. I mean, he needs to remove his Sarmatian Royal Lancers very quickly from that. The one thing that the elite shock cavalry of the steppes have going on for them is their very high melee attack. So they actually don't do that bad in extended combat, but obviously you don't want them to stay in combat and thus lose their main killer, which is their charge bonus. Here Sarmatian Royal Lancers ganged up and killed off the Legatus, and now they're going to come in for a very decisive charge on, I think these look like Royal Spartans. Are they Royal Spartans? Yeah, they're Royal Spartans. Oh, they didn't get a charge in there. This Step Noble Lancer is going to charge into Royal Spartans here. I think the Royal Spartans are actually braced for that. Yeah, so you can see they're trying to get some kills there. But they're going to get rear charged by Step Noble Lancers here. But all in all, they will take a lot of damage, but they are going to do just so much damage to Step Noble Lancers. They're just such a danger for any Step tribe. Getting ganged up is a good way to nullify that threat, but still, expect to lose a lot of your Step cavalry for no real reason, except for the fact that Royal Lancers are just Royal Spartans are just deadly, super deadly. Even their health, 70 health, is almost the same health as most cavalry units. That's how good they are. And let's not forget about the 105 armor and 72 melee defense. So incredibly tanky. And that means that almost always ends up with 2 or 3 Royal Spartans remaining on the battlefield, because they're just badasses like that, and they'll just tank out everything. They have the highest morale in the game at 75. So yeah, they're just don't expect them to die. Even if you've lost it with Sparta, at the very least you have little engagements like this to look forward to. Just some close-ups between two very good units, Illyrian Noble Hoplites and Royal Spartans. Actually, these look like Illyrian Hoplites. No, they are the Noble Hoplites. And then Sarmatian Step Noble Lancers coming into flank charge there. The RDI have cleaned up house there. Royal Spartan General not done too much, because he got ganged up and picked off. Here Royal Spartans with a double XP Chevron about to get flank charged by an Axe Warrior. And I think it's time for me to take some screenshots. Yeah, this is a good one. Look at this guy's dislocated neck. So Royal Spartans got a decent charge off on the Mercy Axe, and then the Step Noble Lance is going to rear charge them, pummel them down. And only 11 seconds left. You know what? This is a fun enough game. The Romans and the Spartans didn't have the best engagements. I think if the Roman player was a bit better, then they could have won this match. I think, because they just had such a huge faction advantage over Roxolani and RDI combo. But I like the coordination shown on the flanks between the two clan players. Maybe they were even on TeamSpeak and they were talking about this. Charging in with the Step Lancers, and then charging in with the Celtic Warriors, racked up the kills for the Celtic Warriors, and then destroyed the Spartan Hoplites. They didn't contribute anything to this battle when they easily could have. So yeah, fun game, and thank you to Mr. Sniffles for sending this over to me, and hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more. Peace.